I'll turn on the recorder. All right, we're now live in public session. River Club Property Owners Association. Hi, Alex. Come on in, man.
Come on in, guys. Here you go,
You see anything crazy in there?
Hey, John.
Hey, Bill, what's happening?
Jordan, did you have a chance to take a look at this? I emailed it over like 3 months ago. This was the mowing contract thing, or no?
I looked through
You
it
know the drill.
right
That's all
after
you
we had
need
our
to do.
last meeting, and
Don't do anything else. Good.
You
All right.
asked me my address. This pen don't like me.
Is that all right?
Here's one. See if that one works.
That must be a government pen. Paper meter, man.
so I'm the minutes guy, which is pretty simple to follow.
That's easy.
Yeah, pretty easy.
I just,
So let me know when you're ready.
I am ready, sir. When you ready.
Wait for the computer to go here.
I'm not gonna type it twice.
Completely understand. This is the stuff I picked up from Diane's.
This is the one that she signed, or is this?
I was under the impression that she was.
She called me this afternoon, said she's still in a lot of pain from whatever her surgery covering.
Who's that?
Diane,
What'd you have for surgery?
I don't know what type of, I don't know what type of surgery she had.
I've never seen this in 3 years of doing business, 4 years of doing business.
I don't even understand the addresses.
Well, it must be, it's going down, that's why, so that's why they must be sending it, but 2,000 for the front entrance, I didn't know we're paying additional. This is ridiculous. So anyway, that needs discussion. All right, that's all right, man. So, yeah.
$314, right?
Yes, sir.
Look at our high speed, man.
I know.
Machine.
All right.
We're getting better. We got our video recording going on the internet now, and now we're getting our minutes live so we can send them out.
Streaming live?
No, that will go up to YouTube tonight or tomorrow or the next day on my YouTube account. But I was gonna tell you, for people that missed the meeting the last time, instead of you taking a summary, they're on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Go and watch it. Yeah.
Yep.
That's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so one is called order, right?
Yep. We're calling it at 7:07.
Okay.
7:07. All right, gentlemen.
Community comments.
Anything from you?
I got an earload from John already. I'll repeat it
Yeah.
when you're ready.
Okay.
Alex, did you have something?
Right.
Marty.
Marty, I'm sorry. I thought you were Alex. I'm sorry.
That's what you said, Alex, when I came in the door. I'm like,
No, it's Marty. Sorry.
yeah, that's all right. No, everything, anything that that I had to say has already had to do with the basketball hoop, but he's already taken care of most of that. And my wife stopped and talked with him and said, you know, when the kids were playing, and that's well and good, you know, we used to be kids, she said, but when she's watched them a few times, cars come around that corner, and the kids just stand in the middle of the road and watch.
Let the car weave. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do
And
that.
it's like, she said, you know, I have nothing against the basketball thing. She goes, it's great, you know, kids need to be kids, but they need to get out of the road.
Exactly.
And-
So you talked to her, or she talked to them?
Well, she did, she talked to
Okay,
him.
good.
But she said that he was less than receptive. And I looked up on the Facebook page, and there's a couple people that brought it up, talking about cars speeding up, and he goes, well, they need to slow down, because, the first time they hit a kid, there's gonna be a lot more to worry about, and it's like, that's why you want your kids out of the road.
Right, that's why you've been warned, yes.
So,
I second that, I talked to him about who, he said, people in the neighborhood, exact comment was, they need to come to talk to me.
Well, somebody did, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I said, well, and I told him, I said, I come around the corner, I'd like to hit it with my truck, cause I didn't see it was at night.
Yep,
You see this big black pole, and you got slam your brakes on or jerk your wheel.
yeah, he should wheel, it's like, I got one of those too, I just wheel it back up into the back of the
well,
car.
and now he keeps it up on the
On
curb.
the curb,
Yeah, that, at least now it's not in the road,
yeah.
And
That's
quite frankly, it gives them 6 more inches to try to
Right.
shoot.
So-
Regulation, right.
John's comments to me outside, which I'll repeat for the good of the
Yeah.
people, which is important, he brought it up at the last meeting, is that the dumpsters behind Weiss are a health hazard and a disaster, and so I told him I would go in there and take a look at it, so I stopped in there about 8 times. The first few times, it didn't seem bad to me, but these last 3 times, I've actually stopped and taken pictures, because it's severe, it's pretty. And today, with the wind blowing, every dumpster's lid was up, scraps blowing out the back of it, they've got food, they have rotten apples back there in the trees.
I can get
back
you a
there.
case of apples.
And so, I mean, and I noticed, because normally I drive into the end lot and look down. This time I drove all the way through, and the other dumpsters, which belong to the development, are open and blowing crap all over the place too. So they'll be cited by the state if they don't get that, and there's lots of recourse that we have. So Rick and I talked about this on Saturday, and so I'm gonna go in and talk to them this week, and be nice, but explain that there's numbers of people that have now noticed it, we have photos of it, and you're making a bad impression on the community, the people that shop from you, and needs to be fixed. I'll also take as a note and an action that, John gave me the number to Thalheimer, which is the landlord for the center, or the landlord's representative, I'm not sure, and he gave me a point of contact over there, so I'll do that too. I'll also call over there and talk to Thalheimer about the other center too, but it is a health hazard, it's bad back there. So,
If
thanks
they
for bringing
would,
that up.
if they would move that one gate, they have 2 gates in front of
To
it.
close it,
If they move that one gate close to that concrete embankment, then people that need food and want to rummage through the garbage cans, they couldn't get in if they would close those gates and keep
they
them
keep
locked.
them locked. Well, yeah, I
And
know,
they have
it's,
dumpster ties that come down where they can just.
they should
latch
be,
them.
they should be bungeed on, exactly. I mean, it's completely irresponsible to have those lids are so heavy, to have them sitting wide open is just, and it's not just those lids, they had every lid, and then every sliding door on the side is open, so crap. I have pictures of crap blowing through the wind that I'll show him if they dispute it or what have you, so, anyway, I'll try to be nice as best as I can.
Oh, the other thing down there, you asked them what they're doing to that sidewalk. I talked to that inspector down there, they're gonna have a crosswalk across there with flashing lights.
So they're improving.
Somebody with a wheelchair complained from the other neighborhood that they can't get across that street there.
Handicap, so that's good, they're gonna make a better handicap ramp in front of the monument there, which will be good. We were wondering, Rick and I were wondering why the backhoe was sitting there
Yeah.
out front there. So,
That's cool.
okay, any other comments on this cold night? Keep going,
Cold night.
it is cold, he's here in shorts.
All right, next on the list is the approval of the, last December 6th meeting minutes.
Did you make those changes that you talked about?
Yeah.
Okay,
The only thing that was changed was a wording, the facts didn't change.
okay, good. Well, we have, it's on YouTube, so they're now recorded forever.
Right.
So go to YouTube and you type RCPOA, search for RCPOA, and all the meeting minutes will be there, so. Move to approve the minutes as written?
Okay. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, I'm signing up.
Ooh, I liked our pace, man, we are on a great pace. All
All
right,
right, that takes care of that. Done. Have my copy just in case. Let's see.
reports of officers.
officers, all right, I'll go first. I've got to report that unfortunately, Eric Haas, unfortunately did resign from the board. And I got a letter, so it says, official resignation was actually done January 29th. But he asked me not to bring it up until the meeting.
He's let us know for 3 or 4 quarters that business was that his travel schedule was picking up.
Yeah, so fortunately, now he said he would be around if we have any questions about the public safety or anything like that, or neighborhood watch stuff, just let him know, he'll do what he can.
All right, he was a good member.
Yep. Let's see, what else I got? We're still looking for volunteers to join the board. There's 4 of us, still got a spot open. So we're really supposed to carry 5 at a minimum. So if you know anybody out there, send them to one of the 3 of us. So
I love it, since we put the volunteers out, the attendance has dropped. Why is that? Nobody wants to come out and volunteer.
Other than that, oh, no, let's see, we'll talk about that later. That's all I've got.
Okay. I finally was able to get Jack, myself, Capital One closed all their branches in Fredericksburg, so we had to drive up 30 minutes up to Stafford, but we finally got Jack Poland off of the account as the former president, and Rick and I are now signatories on the account. I was always a signatory. We also got the guy who passed away, what was his name?
James Alton.
James Altop was finally off. You know, we've told them several times, and I guess with all 3 of us, the former and past presidents, they were finally willing to do it. But before, they've required that every person on the signature card be there in person, which was just a pain in the neck.
Especially when somebody's dead.
Yeah, and when someone's dead. And so Jack was very kind to come out, to hustle out there and get that done for us.
What's Jack's last name?
Poland.
P-O-L-A-N-D, like the country?
Yep, like the country. I did take a crack at pulling up aerials. I did not receive anything. In the Primo's meeting, we had talked about the landscaping details coming from Diane back into the officers so that we could administer the new contracts. I didn't receive anything from her, but I did put together a draft RFP with aerial pictures of the community, and then I highlighted all the areas that needed to be maintained, and we're putting together language about 2 times per month, and flowers twice per year, and that kind of stuff. Our plan is that Jordan is going to administer the contractors, and then I'm gonna try and help with the RFP selection process. The board will select, of course. Jordan is gonna help in the selection process, and then administration of them will move over to Jordan. Jordan's kind of in the construction business, so he does well. I'm in the federal contracting business, so I know RFPs and selecting people and proper procedures and that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, we were moving forward in January, and Helene informed us that we had 2 years on the current contract. So you and I have to meet with him. So Diane's got to send us whatever she's got. I got this, which you need to look at, Jordan. We both need to. I'll take a picture of it so that I'll have a copy. But we pay a ridiculous monthly amount, and so I didn't realize that we were paying surcharges each time she was going for a planting.
Really? I've never seen it, because
So-
I've never handled it.
Well, what happens is when it comes in the system, I don't see the invoice, I just see a number to them.
Mhm.
So I know the numbers. I didn't realize that they were, what's that?
Surcharge for what?
So when they come out and do the spring planting, they're hitting us a surcharge of $2,000 for all the plants. See, I thought that we were paying a once per month that included everything. Now we bump up and down, but I thought that was because she was going in and saying, this tree is dead, replace this, this was, you know, so the number's never the same, but it varied pretty closely. But I must be missing months, you know what I'm saying? But the
There's
bottom
something
line
weird
is,
that's going on where it's saying we have 90, are we paying $12.33 for every 1 gallon pot? That seems.
a little high, yeah, so, well, it's delivered here, and it's on site, and maybe it's installed, I don't
There's
know.
landscape labor required for the performance.
You and I need to meet with these guys, and we need to take it over from Diane, but
Yeah, I seem to remember back, over a year ago, when Diane was first trying to get them, into this, and the board then, I think this was actually, like 15 months ago or something like that, and she was trying to, and there was some dispute between the board members about using this contract or not, and she was very put off, and then last year when it, you know,
It came up.
it came up and got done, and I was like, wow.
Well, in December, we agreed to let her sign it, because we need, you know, she was pushing to have it in place this year, so we did that. Jack says that he's very amenable, our former president says that he's very amenable, so what I think should happen is two things, and I'll make a motion to do both of these, which is, I think that Jordan and I should meet with him.
Okay.
And then secondly, I think that Jordan and I the board needs to cleanse Diane of all responsibility in the landscaping so that Jordan and I can take over and just kind of manage it cleanly and not have any worry about what was agreed to in the past or not. You know, so I made two motions. One, that Jordan and I as officers meet with the landscape contractor and discuss upcoming landscaping requirements. And then the second motion would be that, Diane as a board member and as ill, so a direct